everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be sitting down and chatting about all things how to get into reading. So I wanted to give new readers a little guide on how to get into it, any tips I have, recommendations that got me into reading, and all of that stuff. So I'm really excited for today's video. I love that more people are reading and it's being a thing again, and people are finally realizing how amazing reading truly is, and I'm so happy to spread that love for reading as well. I have my computer here that I'll be referring to with all my notes because Lord knows I can't remember this shit off the top of my head, of course. Let's get into it. First, I'm going to be talking just general tips on how to get into reading. Starting with number one, I have Browse, Book Talk, and BookTube. So for me, I have been reading all of my life. Always loved reading since I was little. But there are times throughout middle and high school where I kind of went months or sometimes years without reading. And the way I rediscovered that again was I came across BookTube. So I was watching people I don't even remember. I don't even know if they have YouTube channels anymore or posts anymore, but I started watching people do 24-hour readathons and reading challenges on YouTube like in 8th grade. That kind of inspired me to want to start reading again and picking up the books that they're reading and trying these fun challenges. So that is what I would do. Book Talk became more popular, and that was even better because it drew even more of an audience. So definitely watch Book Talk and watch BookTube. Take those recommendations, take that inspiration. I think when you're seeing all these people reading and loving books and being so passionate about it, and you see the community it builds, it really inspires you to want to keep reading. Some people I love to watch that have really helped me through my reading journey is Larry Reads, Sarah Caroli, Destiny Sidwell, Steph Broher. She doesn't really post reading content anymore, but she's an amazing YouTuber as well. Mariana's Reads, Yana's Reads, Kendall Watson. Those are all the people who I watch on BookTube and on Book Talk if they have it, and they really helped me get back into my love and passion for reading, so I really recommend them. The second tip I have for you is to invest in a Kindle. My Kindle is one of the best things that has happened to me, not even kidding. It has been so helpful in motivating me to read and giving me that opportunity. I have the Kindle Paperwhite. I don't really know what version or year. It doesn't really matter as long as you have Kindle. So I would invest in not only the Kindle, but Kindle Unlimited as well, which is I think you pay maybe $11.99-ish a month, and it gives you thousands of books that are free. It gives you access to thousands of books, and it is totally worth it. I have found so many amazing books through Kindle Unlimited. The reason I say to invest in a Kindle is because you can take it anywhere. It is just like your phone. Obviously it's a little bit bigger, but you can bring your Kindle anywhere you want and read it anywhere you want. And yeah, you can do that with a physical book as well, and I encourage that, but I think a lot of people, it's almost just easier in a way for them to bring their Kindle. It has thousands of books on it right at the tip of your fingers, and you can read it anywhere. And I take my Kindle everywhere with me. If I don't know if I'm going to be reading where I'm going, I take it everywhere with me. And also along with that is you can get the Kindle app on your phone, which syncs whatever you're reading to your actual Kindle. So that's amazing too, because obviously we're always going anywhere with our phones. Where we go, our phones go, and it will encourage you to take that scrolling time and replace it with reading because it's right there. So definitely the Kindle has helped me read. For some reason, I just feel like I read faster on the Kindle. I've found amazing books. I can bring the Kindle wherever. I love reading my Kindle on the treadmill. It's a lot easier than, holding a paperback book. I love my paperbacks, but the Kindle is definitely something worth investing in. My third tip is do not be afraid to DNF a book. If you didn't know, DNF means did not finish. If you're not enjoying a book, put it down. You should never force yourself to read a book that you are not enjoying. That's just gonna kind of taint your view towards reading, and it's going to put you in a reading slump and just make you not want to pick up anything. So don't be afraid to just put it down and pick up something new. I have DNF'd so many books, and it really did take me a while to get to the point where I could, because mentally I was like, no, like I need to finish this. Like I can't just, like, one, I spent money on this and I want to read it. Two, I don't want to just leave this book unfinished. And it was a really like hard mental battle for me. But eventually I was like, I don't want to waste my time reading these books that I'm not enjoying. And that's when I started not being afraid to put it down and pick up something new. It will save you so much of your time and energy, and it is not worth it to spend time reading books you're not enjoying when there's thousands, even millions of books that you would be enjoying. The next tip is to put away all distractions when you are dedicating your time to reading. I think a big problem is, and I'm still guilty of this, is I will sit there with my Kindle or my book and my phone, and I will end up scrolling on my phone for hours. And that time could have been used for reading. So what I would say is, if you want to dedicate 30 minutes of your day to reading, put your phone somewhere else, put your to-do list somewhere else, get all of that away, your computer, everything. Any responsibilities you have, put it away, and just dedicate that time solely to reading. I think that is so important, and this will just help you read more. It will, if you're dedicating your time and that's the only focus you have, it will help you spend more time doing that thing that you love without any distractions around you. Fifth goal is to try out different genres. So this is really important because there are so many different genres out there, and especially when you're starting out as a new reader, you don't really know what you like yet. So my recommendation is to just try out everything. I have read romance, I have read fiction, I've read a little bit of fantasy, I'm trying to get in there, thrillers, mysteries, nonfiction, memoirs, all of that stuff. Figure out what genre suits you. And it can be multiple genres. I think it's so important to expand your horizons and just explore all different types of stories, and then you'll really find what you connect with, and then you can read more of that genre. I think that will really help you get into reading more. My final tip is to set goals. Now, there is some discourse, especially on Book Talk, about the whole reading goal. A lot of people feel this like pressure to read 100 to 200 books a year because that's what people online are doing. But you have to remember that a lot of the people we're seeing online, it is their full-time job to read. They are content creators, they are influencers who dedicate their time to reading, and that is their job. And a lot of us, that isn't our job. We may have a full-time job, we may be a full-time student, a mom, we have other responsibilities as well. And not saying that they don't, but they are lucky in the fact that their job is to read. So don't feel like you need to read 200 books a year just because so-and-so online is. So I would say when you're setting your goals, set them realistic. I still love setting a yearly book goal. I think it's just really fun because I get to work toward it. I have a book goal of 50 this year, and it's reasonable, and if I don't meet it, that's okay. If I do, that's fine. If I exceed it, that's great. It's just having that goal, it just like, it's in the back of your mind and it encourages you to read. And then you can even set like small goals, like I want to read for 20 minutes each day, or instead of scrolling on my phone before bed, I would like to read 10 pages of my book. Little goals like that will really help you get back into reading and get out of your reading slumps, and it encourages you to set time aside for that hobby instead of doing things like scrolling on your phone. Those are my 6 main tips on how to get into reading, and now I would like to get into the recommendations that I have in terms of books. I didn't separate these recommendations by genre. I kind of just did a standalones and a series section. So I will like explain the genre and whatever, but I didn't like split it into that because I feel like I didn't have enough for each genre. First standalone I have is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is one of the books that kind of blew up on Book Talk years ago, and this definitely got me back into reading. And this is a contemporary second chance romance, and it follows Elliot and Macy, and it also goes through a past and present timeline. So they had met when they were little in childhood, and they became friends, and eventually romance blossomed. But then they had a decade where they did not talk. And then they end up reconnecting, and you find out what caused that separation. And it's about rekindling that friendship and relationship again. This book is always going to be one of my favorite books. I love a good childhood friends to lovers to strangers to lovers second chance romance. Like that I will eat up every single time. And I really love this book. It's definitely good in terms of getting yourself into the romance genre. There's not a ton of spice. It's very entertaining. I think the past and present timeline really keeps you engaged. And it's just a beautiful romance story. So that's definitely one you should start with. The next book I have is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Now, with Emily Henry, I have read majority of her books. I haven't read Funny Story, and I haven't read Great Big Beautiful Life. And then as for Happy Place and Book Lovers, I completely forget them. But Beach Read is something I read over and over again, which is why I am specifically recommending Beach Read. But all of Emily Henry is great. It follows Gus and January, and they are kind of rival authors in the writing space. They both write in completely different genres, and they're both experiencing a writer's block where they just can't write. And so, although they are rivals, they decide that they are going to swap genres and they are going to write in each other's genre. A romance novel, but with Emily Henry, she has not only the romance, but I consider her like a women's fiction as well, because she explores deeper topics and things like friendship and grief and love and finding yourself and that confidence, and all of those things are explored in Emily Henry's books. The writing is so beautiful. The romance is awesome. I just like romance books that are so much more than just the romance, and she does a really great job of that. The next book I have is The Bright Years by Sarah DeMoff. This is a recent 5-star for me. I read it in January. This book follows kind of like generational traumas. It's initially starts with Ryan and Lillian and their love story and them having a daughter together and getting married and kind of that story. And then halfway through the book, we switch perspectives to the daughter and her life story. So you're kind of in a past present timeline. It's told by years, so each chapter is whatever year. And this is such a beautiful story about the different hardships that us humans go through in life and how that affects the generations to come, and how our parents and what they go through affect us and what we go through, and how that cycle continues. Definitely check your trigger warnings for this book. It is very devastating and heartbreaking, but it's such a beautiful story. And it's one of those books that will get you into the fiction genre. Everyone should read this. Although it is so sad, it just is it hits home, and I think it's a very important book. The next books I have is more so just an author in general, and that is Abby Jimenez. Abby Jimenez is a romance author, but like Emily Henry, she has that romance is kind of the subplot, and there's more going on with the characters. Her books are so amazing. So with hers, it's not series, they're more so interconnected standalones, so you don't have to read any of them in order. I personally did. I think that's the best way to read it, but you can read it however you'd like. And her books are so great. It's really like character studies, and you watch these characters again go through things in their lives, and then their romance sparks, and you just see a lot of growth, and you see all different types of people within these characters also dealing with tough topics, and that's something that I love. My favorite books by her, Yours Truly is really amazing. There is great anxiety representation in that book, and that is really special to me. And then Say You'll Remember Me is such an amazing book. That's one of her, I think that's her most recent release. And then she's also coming out with a new book this month, so that's gonna be great. Just her books, Her writing style is so fast-paced and easy to get into, and then her stories are just so amazing as well. Daisy Jones and the Six. Now, this book blew up on TikTok. Taylor Jenkins Reid in general blew up on TikTok, and I recently just read Daisy Jones and the Six for the first time. I know I'm a little late. This book is so good. It is different from anything I've ever read before, and it follows this band called the Six, and it follows Daisy Jones and how they kind of connect and combine together back then, and it's like following this rock band through an interview style of writing, which makes this book super fast-paced and easy to get through. You kind of just follow these characters and what they go through during this rock star era of their lives, and you watch them grow and change, and it is such a beautiful story. I think this is really good to get you into reading because it is so fast-paced with the way it's writing, and you're following so many different characters. I feel like you're really getting to know these people, like they feel real. And I think it's really cool to learn about, you know, that rock star lifestyle and what it was like back then. The book I have is technically, it's a series, but I haven't finished it yet. It's a trilogy, and that is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I have recently got into Frederick Bachman, and I am loving his books. He has such a unique writing style. Every word, every sentence has a meaning, and it really just hits no matter what he writes. Specifically follows so many characters in this town called Beartown, and the main focus and love of this town is hockey. Hockey is what this town is built around, and everyone cares about hockey, and that's all they care about. So in this book, a tragedy happens, and it's kind of set to the back burner because of the love for hockey, and you follow all of these characters. He is someone who you'll switch the point of view character in the middle of a page, which I know can be daunting, and I was scared of that too, but it really flows very nicely, and it makes the book really fast-paced, and I think that's why it's a good book to get into if you want to start reading literary fiction. Get to know each and every character so deeply and how different they are from each other and how hockey connects them all in this small town. I can't wait to continue the series. Check your trigger warnings for that as well. It's very deep and dark. Get into series that I recommend. I'm a big series girly. The first series I have to recommend is, of course, none other than the Boys of Tommen series by Chloe Walsh. Before I even start talking about the series, check your trigger warnings. This is a very dark series. It has very graphic, dark content, has the most beautiful storyline with amazing characters, and it is so well written. It might be daunting to you because each book is like 600 plus pages. But let me tell you, like, you won't even, when you're reading, you won't even realize. Like, these characters are written so well. So let me break it down for you. Binding and Keeping 13 are the first two books in the series, and those books follow Johnny and Shannon. And then we have Saving and Redeeming 6, might be flopped, I don't know. Those follow Joey and Aoife, and Joey is Shannon's brother. And those two follow that couple. And then we have Taming 7, which follows Gibbsy and Claire. And Claire is Shannon's best friend, and Gibbsy is Johnny's best friend. And then we have Claiming 10. Nope. Is it Releasing or Claiming? You'll see, I don't know. That follows Huey and Lizzie. And Huey is on the rugby team with the boys, and Lizzie is also Shannon's best friend. So it's this amazing, it's a romance series, but again, it is so much more. These characters go through so much. Like, you really feel for them, and it is such a beautiful found family. Like, they all just love each other so much. The friendship runs so deep, and you just get to know these characters in all these books and pages. Best series I've ever read, and it is so life-changing, and it is not complete. There are more books coming out. I have is the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This one I haven't read in a while, so I'm a little bit fuzzy on what it's about, but this is like 4 or 5 books, I think. It's kind of like Criminal Minds, but make it young adult. So basically it follows this group of kids, or teenagers rather, and they have this special, they each have a different special ability in terms of like kind of like behavioral analysis, and they get put together in this group to solve these different crimes. And that's really all I'm gonna give. It's definitely a series I would go in blind, because I feel like with any thriller, mystery, true crime series, it is best to go in blind because the twists hit so much more. It's young adult, which makes it more fast-paced. The writing is very digestible, and these characters are so interesting to follow, and there's so many different plot twists, how these characters are all so different, but this special ability kind of connects them together and they build these relationships. And that's a great series if you want to get into that genre. My favorite sports romance series ever, and that is the Windy City series. This series just complete, and I'm so sad about it. I really want to reread them already, even though I just read all the books last year. But this series follows hockey romances, baseball, and basketball. So all three are are incorporated in this. It's either 5 or 6 books. I think it's 5 books. And you don't have to read it in order. It's interconnected standalones, although I do really recommend reading them in order. These books each follow a different couple, and it's found family, and each couple is so unique and each person is so unique, and they have some of the strongest female main characters I've ever seen in books. It's just really amazing. They are spicy, so if that's something you kind of want to get away from, I will have you know that they are pretty spicy, but it is so much more than just the romance and the spice. Such beautiful relationships and connections, and then you get to see sneak peeks of each couple in each book, and that is one of my favorite things to see, is just getting to kind of see little bits and pieces of the previous couple from the past books. People don't really like Mile High, but it's good, and if you're one of those people who didn't like Mile High, keep going. The books only get better. Because I actually haven't finished yet. I know, but I wanted to include it in here because I am really enjoying it, and that is the Shatter Me series. This is a dystopian fiction young adult series with some romance, and it's so good. Very, very fast paced. I'm someone who, I don't read a lot of fantasy. It's something that I want to get into, and if I do read fantasy, it is that dystopian-esque, like The Hunger Games and Divergent. The only reason I haven't finished it yet is because I'm like purposely dragging it out because I don't want it to end. But basically, you start by following Juliana, and she is locked away in this asylum because she has this ability where anything she touches gets hurt or dies. So the new government, called the Reestablishment, that kind of took over, puts her in this asylum, but then she ends up getting released by them because they want to use her to their advantage. And Juliet coming into herself and accepting this ability and using it for good, and kind of just the war, the corrupt government, and how she and all of those around her want to fight it. And then there's also the love story between Juliet and Aaron Warner, and that is just Aaron Warner. Top book boyfriends. Like, he is just everything. The final series I will talk about is another long one, but it's just so good I can't not mention it, and that's the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. This has been popular for a while, and this is like 10 books long, so let me kind of break it down for you. We have the Addicted series, and then the Calloway Sisters series, but you can technically read them by themselves. You can read just the Addicted, or you can read just the Calloway Sisters. Don't recommend doing that at all. I will post what the reading order is that the authors recommend themselves, and that's the reading order that I chose. So it starts with Addicted to You, and we're following Lily and Lo, and Lo is an alcoholic and Lily is addicted to sex, and they have been friends since they were little, and they kind of just enabled each other's addictions and hid it from their family. And their families are very well-known, famous, rich, high-class families, kind of following that dynamic. And then once you get into the Calloway sisters, we get books on Rose and Daisy Calloway. Those are Lily's sisters, and we get their couples. Long series of found family again, shocking twists and great connections and relationships and drama and scandal, because it is in that high-class society. This is such a great series. Like, I think about these characters all the time. They grow so much throughout, and you just really connect to them. On Kindle Unlimited. Most of the books I'm recommending are on Kindle Unlimited. We have Boys of Tom and Is, Addict to Calloway, and Windy City series. Those 3 series are all on Kid Unlimited. Just saying. I've had enough yapping for today. I have schoolwork to do, and I'm also filming another reading vlog, which will be out probably next week. So stay tuned for that. I just wanted to give a little bit of a guide on how to get into reading, where to start, and let's spread the love for reading and that community. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you read any of the books recommended or if you have any books that you want to recommend. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, all of those things. And yeah.